example, but in general, I have always said that the two major enemies of a free society are the business community on the one hand and the intellectuals on the other. For what look like opposite reasons. Every businessman is in favor of freedom for everyone else, but wants special privileges for himself. Every academic is in favor of freedom for himself, but wants to control everybody else. Now, I exaggerate when I say every academic, and I don't really mean that. But, and it is less true today than it was 30 or 40 years ago, but certainly over time, it is the intellectual community that has provided the greatest support, the greatest rationalization for the growth and extension of government. But more important than either, the business community or the intellectual community, in my opinion, is the economic inertia, a simple inertia that derives from the interest we all have in retaining our own special privileges. We all, every one of us, knows that what's good for us is good for the country. That's the easiest thing in the world to persuade yourself of. And nobody is a hypocrite when he does it. He really believes it. That gentleman who wrote me about bees, I'm sure he was sincere. He believed what he was saying. He wasn't just deliberately falsified. The automobile people, when they go around and say they need government assistance to keep from going out of business, they don't, and that's in the best interest of the country, they believe what they're saying. But nonetheless, I think that the greatest danger comes from those of us, all of us, who seek to protect whatever benefits we've managed to get. We're always willing to cut other people's government programs while we retain our own. To come close to home, I gather there are a lot of students in this room. How often have you observed students going around protesting about what I think is the most disgraceful government spending program in existence, namely government subsidies to higher education? There is no program in the United States which so clearly imposes burdens on low-income people to benefit high-income people. None whatsoever. And yet, how many students do you have going around saying it's a bad thing for the country to have government devote so much money to higher education? Now, don't misunderstand me. If there is a government program of benefits or of loans, there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of it. You're a citizen of a country. If that country votes a law you disagree with, it's not in any way wrong or immoral to take advantage of that law, provided it doesn't keep you from trying to get the law repealed. So I think the prospect for the future of a free society can be bright, but only if we continue to try to spread our ideas, but most importantly of all, to persuade ourselves, more importantly than anyone else, to be consistent with the beliefs we profess. When you are tempted, every time you are tempted to blame somebody else for the growth of government or the decline in the freedom, first look in the mirror and see where the real fault lies. Thank you.